watching this. I am Kyle Petty, and I am one third of arguably your favorite reality TV podcast, Strat Chat. We are very, very American. Okay, so BBUK is brand new to us. And I think that's why the rest of my podcast mates have decided to skip this reboot. I don't really know. I'm super jazzed about it. I'm hoping that because I'm doing this thing on my own, that maybe they will join me at some point. But until then, you got me. I have a lot of comments, lots of thoughts. I want to run down the entire house, everybody who's in there, what's going on. I want to give you some of my thoughts of these people, of your game format, okay, because it is very different from what we do in America. So let's get into this thing, okay? You can consider me chuffed. Diddly diddly dee. Oh, consider me chuffed. Listen, I'm so excited to hear this word. Okay, I looked it up on the Googles. So, what does chuffed really mean in slang? Apparently, it means you're really pleased or delighted about something, right? And I am pleased and delighted to be talking about BBUK. Except, I got some questions. I do have a couple of issues. I'm having a good time. I'm still watching. I was locked in for 4 episodes, obviously. But yeah, I got some questions. But first, you can find Strat Chat Pod on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. We're also on Blue Sky. Not that most people really seem to care about that, but that's the information. Okay, so like, subscribe, share with a friend. Tell some people. Hop in the conversation. We cover Big Brother 25, or of course American. We're also talking about Survivor. We have also covered Australian Survivor. Because we do love our Australian friends. We did have a chat about Big Brother Australia as well. We've been to Canada for Big Brother up there. We do a number of things. So come find us and come hop into the conversation. So any Hoosers, your version of Big Brother is so very different from ours. I understand why some people may like this version better. I understand why others don't. So much of our game is structured around the strategy. We have a competition to win somebody, so somebody can win head of household, right? And they make all these decisions, like, they're putting 2 people on the chopping block. We call it the block. They nominate for eviction, obviously. And then we play another competition for the power of veto, right? To have the right to remove one of those people from the block, including yourself, right? Forcing the HOH, head of household, to put somebody else up. That is not the case in y'all's world. So this is very, very interesting. I feel like, so we were a little bit introduced, obviously, to Big Brother Australia and some of these shopping tasks and these other things. And I don't know, there's a lot of fun things that you guys do, but I also feel like we just sit around talking a lot. Like, I don't know, like I'm having a good time, but it's definitely different. So I want to run down every single person that we put in this BBUK house, like really, really quick, really quick. So first, like, here's Chanel. Listen, I don't really have much negative to say about this girl. I like that she drinks. She's very fun. She's got a good face. She actually looks like she could be some kind of descendant, some relative of one of our BBUS queens. Her name is Janelle. I don't think this is an era. This is totally perfect. Like, I really feel like she could be like a younger cousin to Miss Janelle. I'm just saying. She doesn't offend me. She's fine. Here's Dylan. Very interesting. I really like this guy. It came out this week that, he's half white, half black, 50% even split. I certainly think that's interesting. And I certainly empathize with some of his story regarding how, obviously, like, black people don't consider him to be black. White people don't consider him white. So, like, what do we do? We're in the middle. I feel you. And obviously, we're missing a part of our body here. And he has a wonderful, wonderful attitude about it. Everything with this whole amputated leg thing. I mean, like, it lights up and everything. It's very, very fun, very exciting. So, like, I don't know. He doesn't let it bother him, and it doesn't bother me at all. So listen, we like Dylan. Wonderful personality. Certainly here for it. Now, Miss Farida, oof, I don't know. Listen, I'm here for the diversity for sure. I think these are people that we should be seeing. I think it's interesting to be having conversations about different types of cultures and things like that. I will say that as far as like halal food, like that certainly came up when we were discussing, like, the shopping budget and how some of this money should be spent. Make sure I have some halal. I would love for somebody to mention in the comments exactly what halal is, because here on Long Island, in New York, in America, um we see halal food as just a type of food to eat, but it seems like there's some restrictions and things, like certain things that Farida cannot eat. And I'm very, very intrigued by that because it's obviously more than just a type of food. So I'd love to be a little bit more educated on that. However, Farida's personality would not be meshing with mine. Okay. Like there's no way I could not live in the house with this woman. After she went to Olivia and was like, it was one thing for her to sample some of the corn that was on her plate. And obviously Olivia felt the same, right? She was like, she was down for it. It was whatever. But I don't know, going back in after your mouth had done touched the utensil and you just dip it into that dish. Oof, absolutely not. No way. And then coming back for seconds, thirds, fourths on the same plate. Oof, oof. Gave me all the ick. I can't do it. I can't do it. But next up we have Hallie. Love Hallie. Came out this week as being transsexual. Um, really, really, really love this woman. Um, from the personality to the relationship that she has with Kerry, just to some of the transparency that she's had while she's been in this house. It's only been a week. I know a lot of this has been pre-recorded, so we don't actually know how long it's been. But really, really digging her for sure, for sure. Um, I thought that the conversation that Farida and Hallie were having, you may have seen this on the Twitter. If you follow me, you can find me on the Twitter at I'm Kyle Petty. But some of the conversation between Hallie and Farida, with some of the questions that Farida was asking, I actually didn't think was coming from a disingenuous place. Like I actually thought like she was really trying to be open-minded and understand exactly like what's going on. That's not how Hallie took it. Um, so also let me know in the comments, like, how does your editing go, in this show? Are we getting to see the full conversation? Is there a possibility that some things may have been omitted? Because that's certainly how things work in BBUS. You'll see a conversation and you think that it went really, really great, but there could have been some things in between that kind of like set some other things off. So I'm curious to know how your show goes. So there's that. There's that. Um, Here's Henry, a self-declared right-wing royalist. Like, listen, I don't know what it really means to be a royalist. I don't know if that's good or bad. But the second you mentioned being right-leaning, I'm like, oof, oof. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. And I also understand that could mean something different in the UK than it does here in America. Um, Not to get into politics and everything, but like, we certainly didn't see Democrats and Republicans here in our world the same way until Trump, right? Like it certainly has changed, since 2016. So that's important to note as well. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. Henry gives me red flags just because of some of the things that he admitted to, but his relationship with Trish is really, really encouraging. I don't really want to go out of alphabetical order, but since we're here and we're talking about her, here's a lady Trish. And even Trish had said, like, listen, I did not expect to like you as much as I do, but I do. And she's like, I expect that people back home will be feeling a certain way about this. They're probably like wondering, like, what are you doing, girl? Um, I'm not, like to be open-minded and have good conversations with good people. Certainly like to see how this relationship plays out as the weeks play on, as we carry on. Um, but next up, here's Jenkin. Listen. Jenkin had a rough go the second he got into this house. So Big Brother was making them play this game where, like, you had almost like superlatives, right? You had to like kind of like nominate like who you thought was this, who you thought was that. And Jenkin really had a rough go. I can't even remember what it was. Oh, the question was actually it was posed to Kerry. We'll get to Kerry. We'll certainly get to Kerry soon. The question was posed to Kerry as far as like, whose outfit was like not the best, who don't you think has the best fashion sense? And she selected Jenkin. And this poor man had his luggage exploded, right? It just blew up his suitcase, right? No access to any of his faux fashion wear. Poor guy. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And then after this, he was asked to now nominate a person who what was it now that he thinks he couldn't live with? I think that's what it was. Who do you think you couldn't live with, or something like that? And he selected Olivia. And in doing so, she was automatically selected as one of the first people to be up for eviction in the public vote coming up on Friday. Which he caught a lot of flack for. And I just think that's super unfair. Because Olivia really gave him a hard time about this. And I understand that Olivia would be mad about something like that, right? It certainly does not feel good on like night one to already be up for eviction. But at the same time, it's not like he selected you knowing that he was going to be putting you in danger. So, like, I don't know. Lay off the guy. He's got no clothes. Are you bothering him? Like, I don't know. I don't know. And there was some other situation. Let me know in the comments too. But there was some other situation where, like, he also didn't get to have hot water. Like this poor. Oh, I think because he lost that musical statue thing, right? Like, so crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, leave this man alone. He's really going through it. Um, Continuing, with our alphabetical order, we've got Jordan here. Um, I actually kind of like Jordan. Again, I'm getting a little red flags because of his relationship with Henry, and he kind of gives me the ick. But I feel like Jordan has been very entertaining in his diary room sessions. Like I've been enjoying Jordan a lot. I think he's actually very funny. His very dry, like deadpan sense of humor has been super entertaining to me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of a Jordan fan, at least at the moment. At least at the moment. Here is Miss Kerry. Kerry, I understand suffers from MS, right? Hence the cane, and she does move around the house on like a mobility scooter, like a little cart and everything. However, her personality is so absolutely fantastic. Like she is an absolute light. Like I don't know, I really love her. She's been complaining a lot about the food, all right? She is not thrilled. It doesn't matter what place she's in, it doesn't matter. So obviously, that other challenge or task that we had this week, separating all of the house guests between, the big wigs, middle management and the bottoms. And Kerry was selected as middle management. And even in that even in that section, she was not happy with the food given. The tofu, she wasn't having any of it. She was really mad for a lot of it. And like, I don't know, but I still find her entertaining. I like Kerry. I like Kerry a lot. Which will lead into something else later. Like I don't want to be a spoiler, person, but we'll certainly get to the conversation around why I am not so chuffed about Kerry's current situation. Um, Alphabetically speaking, Maddie would be next. Here's Maddie. I don't have a lot of comments or thoughts on Maddie. Whatever I do have is positive. Certainly doesn't bother me. Seems like a nice light. Um, Really nothing to say there. Next is Noki. Really happy with her too. Cute face. So she seems sweet. We haven't really seen a lot of her other than the fact that she was kind of involved in the finance department, counting coins, or I guess pence, as you all say, or whatever it is. Yeah, she's entertaining. She's fine. We'll see what happens going forward. Oh boy. Now listen. If you know the house guests and you know the alphabet, you already know who's next. Next is Olivia. And oof, I don't know what to think about Miss Olivia. Listen, I want to say I'm on the fence, but I still think I'm leaning towards I don't like this lady. I don't know, she just makes a lot of comments that I find to be annoying. I certainly backed her during Salmon Gate. Right, Salmon Gate was when that thing that I was talking about before, with Miss Farida kind of coming in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, eating her corn and her salmon. Like, I would not be down for that either. But after she was nominated for eviction, ipso facto, because of what Jenkin had said, Big Brother had presented her with a secret challenge and basically said, as long as people do not think of you as the least entertaining house guest, we will take you off the chopping block, right? So of course now she's out here and she's trying to be super entertaining. She's trying to be whatever. And I feel like everything she did in these moments was super, super annoying. Like, it was just way too much. Like, I don't know. Like, she is like, ugh, ugh. I mean, she did give me a couple of chuckles during the entire, big wig middle management, bottoms conversation. Like, I did think that was kind of fun and interesting, but I don't know. I'd be fine if we didn't have Olivia anymore. Sorry. It might be an unpopular opinion. Certainly let me know. Certainly let me know. Don't creep in my DMs though, like canceling me and crap. I don't need any of that crap. Next up is Paul. Ooh, Paul is fine as hell. Listen, let me tell you something. I don't want to get canceled for liking this man. I don't know enough about him, but he is fine, fine, fine. And he doesn't give me any problems. I'm not really getting the ick yet, but again, it's only week 1. People are on their best behavior. We're gonna be watching Paul. But I will say that he's an early fave, because he's a hottie, McHottie. Tom is next. I don't really know Tom. The most memorable thing that I know up to this point, because I did watch, what was it, the first, I guess, 5 episodes, right? Because they premiered on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Right. Today's Thursday. It is after the show. So we're 5 episodes in. Right. The only thing I know about this man is that he can burp on command. Yuck. Who cares? Like, that's not an achievement. It's really not great that I spent a week with you all, and that's the only thing I know about you. So I'll leave that there. Here's Trish. I still like her. We kind of touched on her before because of the relationship with Henry and such. Who I have next, though, is an absolute gem. Mission Run. I love her. I love the way she speaks. I love her sense of humor. I think she's absolutely hysterical. And anytime she's featured, I'm already smiling. She doesn't even have to open up her mouth, and I'm already in love. I already know I'm gonna like everything that comes out of her mouth. So, like, I am absolutely team Yin Run. And I would love the opportunity for her to come on this podcast at some point too. Whether John and Gina join us, like, listen, you would consider me chuffed if I got to speak to Miss Yin Run. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that there. And her in that whole big wig outfit and everything. I'm sorry, the hair was so high. It was the most ridiculous looking thing ever. And oh my gosh, it just made me fall in love with her even more. The very last person that I want to touch on is Zach, right? I took one look at him and I definitely prejudged him. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be a total G. Like, he is not going to be down the clown. Like, I just feel like he's going to be an asshole. He is not. He seems so, so very cool. And we saw some of that when, Kerry and Farida were having their tiff. He definitely stepped in and acted as the middle person to kind of shut some of that down, kind of smooth out the waters, and certainly appreciated that. I think Zach is super, super cool. And I'd like to see him kind of go far in this whole thing. So it's strange. Like, I don't really know, like, totally, like, what to talk about in this regard, because we are so used to talking about the competitions, right? What is the best social strategy? How am I moving forward here? And I have to admit that I'm very, very confused about how we get to where we are. So I watched the first 5 episodes and I saw no mention of anybody being evicted, like what was going on, knowing full well that on Friday we have our first public vote. I still don't know how we got there, right? The episode ended. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I had already seen on Twitter that it was Farida and Kerry that were nominated for eviction for, I don't know how we got here. So apparently your votes are free, right? And you can vote up to 5 times. The vote is closing on Friday the 13th. It says as announced in show. I don't know what you're talking about. I missed all of that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how we got here. So please, like, let me know. I saw something on Twitter that was saying like, oh, this is, this was revealed on Late and Live. Listen, I only have so much time. Okay. I work a real job, right? I have Big Brother 25 going on. There are so many other shows to watch as well as having the time to talk to you all. So like, no, I definitely did not watch Late and Live this week. I want to make sure this was out before the eviction. I gotta say though, based on what I've seen, I really want Kerry to stay. Like, I know she's been complaining a lot about the food. Like, she's really not down for the tofu. She's not down for, like, really much else that's been served in there. But Miss Farida eating somebody's salmon, like, I can't get down with that. And like, Farida also had an issue with at some point during the shopping task where we were deciding like who's going to be what, and Kerry was nominated to be part of the finance department. Farida did not like that, and she kind of took issue to it, even though Kerry was not the one who raised her hand to be a part of the finance department. So like I didn't really love that either. So I don't know. But I thought something else that was of some significance that I thought was worth mentioning is the fact that this shopping task, they got this luxury shopping budget, right? And the luxury shopping budget allowed them to have £500 for spending. I was horrified just right out of the gate. Again, I feel like I heard something where like they said like only £438 were spent. I can't understand why you would not max this sucker out. Like, right, just get whatever you can because you don't know what budget you're going to get next week. Now, I don't know if that was just like a trick of the edit and that maybe like maybe they actually did kind of fill this out. I don't really know. But knowing that £500 sterling is actually worth $608.98 in US dollars really disturbed me. Our friend Alfie, who I'm going to consider our BBUK subject matter as expert, we call that a SME in my world. You can find Alfie on Twitter at Alfie S12. All right, Alfie S12. Always live tweeting about the BBUK experience, always sharing really great insights, some really good history facts. Certainly worth a follow. So thank you all that you do, for our BB community. Also tweeting about many other things. So like, can't say enough good things about Alfie. But here's some shopping list stats. Some things that went on. We got 30 sausages, like. Okay, like sausage is good. Multi-purpose, right? I can do breakfast, lunch, and dinner with sausage. Okay, we can get a lot done with some sausages, so I'm definitely on board for that. 2240 spent on salmon. Oh my, like this is the only protein we really did other than the 24 eggs. I don't know. That sounds a little crazy. 23.2 liters of fizzy drink. Is that y'all's version of soda? What do you mean fizzy drink? I don't even know what that means. 5 mangoes, 14 pot noodles. Now, pot noodles, I don't know nothing about nobody pot noodle. What is that? Like ramen? That's what we call it. Why don't you guys do a Google search on ramen and see if that matches like the same thing? And a loaf of bread each. What does that mean? 16 loaves of bread? Y'all need that much? Well, you know what? Though? I guess you're making sandwiches and things like that, especially all that sausage. I guess that makes some sense because I guess one person can easily go through a loaf of bread in 1 week. I suppose. Just looks crazy to see on a list, right? Looks crazy. So that's that. Really don't know how this entire week is going to end up. Oh wait, hold on. I feel like I had some other notes and things. Oh, the very first note that I had that I had written down, like, "Pot noodles? Is this like ramen?" Right? I'm so curious, I'm so curious, like, please tell me things. Oh, right, they had the big bed challenge, right? They put all the house guests into this very large bed right in the center of the living room, and, whoever lasted in the bed the longest was supposed to get a treat. Kind of a silly task, right? Kind of silly. But I thought one of the things that was of note is that Kerry did get out of the bed so that Jenkins can get some of his clothes back after his luggage was blown up. Um, Jury's still out on whether or not that actually had to do with Kerry doing a nice thing for Jenkin, or if it really just because she just wanted to get out and she figured she'd cover it with something sweet. I mean, anything is certainly possible there. Anything's possible there. Um, I also thought it was rather funny that Henry was mocking Donald Trump in his big wig outfit. And it actually kind of gives me like the cringies that people internationally know how much of a mess our country is, and the fact that Donald Trump is even our president at all. Like, I have to say that a lot of us are not proud of that. Like, so please don't think like I'm a product of any of that crap. All right, so there's that. I just want to leave that there. What else do we have? Obviously, enjoyed Jordan as fire warden. Very, very fun. Very, very fun. Authoritative. Good times. Good times. Um, yeah, and I guess that's it. I guess that's it. So that is it for, consider me chuffed, an American's point of view on Big Brother UK. I am super excited this is here. I can't wait to see how your eviction goes. Like, what is going to go on? I'm hoping that, like, because I did not watch late in live, where I understand this all was uncovered, I would really love to know more about how we got here. So I'm hoping we get to see that on tomorrow's episode. Um, and other than that, like, justice for Kerry. Let's keep her there. Let's keep her in the house. I think at this point it really, really should be Farida that leaves us on tonight or on today on whatever time we're watching, whatever. Um, Really, just because of the salmon thing. Didn't love it. Didn't love it. And I know that I would not be about that if I was there. Any Hoosers, I'm going to be back once a week. I'm going to record on Thursdays, and I'm going to put it out at some point in between Thursday and Friday, like American time. So at least you get it before the eviction. Unless, of course, John and Gina decide to join me at some point. They maybe consider me chuffed as out of here, But until then, this is what we're doing. If you are interested in anything else that we are doing reality TV wise, oof, yikes. Find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. We're live twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays. We're talking about all your favorite shows: Challenge USA 2, Big Brother 25, Survivor 45. We are going to be picking up Big Brother Australia when it starts. We know it has been wrapped up in some mess. It was supposed to be Big Brother House of Love. We know that nobody fell in love. So they scrapped that whole theme and like re-edited the whole thing. So I don't really know what to expect from this, but we are going to be there because I am a huge Big Brother Australia fan. So like I'm hoping this is not the end, of that franchise. But that's it. Once again, find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. Thanks for hanging out with this lowly American that knows very little about your show. Super excited to continue. And that's it. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, and I'm out of here. Thanks for hanging.